lots of requests for me to watch White Lotus on HBO. Well, I did watch season 1 this week. It's only 6 episodes, and I think that's great, because who needs another, 40 episodes of this show that somebody wants me to watch? White Lotus is one I feel like people have very, very divisive opinions on. Some people think it was only good for season 1. Some people are like, no, season 1 was okay. Season 3 is the best because it's got Walton Goggins on it or something like that, which people know that I love Walton Goggins. I just said, why not? I'll give it a shot. I don't have a show that I'm watching at the moment while I wait for my wife to start Alice in Borderland season 2. So I said, why not? I'll go ahead and give it a try. And look, if you guys had told me it has Sydney Sweeney and Alexandra Daddario in it, I probably would have watched it a lot earlier. But on the real here, it's a very, very interesting show in that at first you can kind of be like, the hell am I watching right now? It's I think uncomfortable is the word with the show, because it just feels like it's just like one uncomfortable conversation or scenario after another. And it's one of those where like some people love to be that fly on the wall when like if you're at a restaurant and you're two people fighting, some people are just like, I'm just like, I feel uncomfortable. I don't want to be around it. So I think it's one of those kind of shows that'll make you a little squeamish, make you a little uncomfortable if you're one of those people like me who don't like to see conflict in public. Because it feels like it's that over and over again. But my wife and I, we do trips to like Sandals and things like that, which is very much like what the White Lotus is. And I'm just like, man, maybe this is why I don't talk to a lot of people while we're at one of these resorts, because these people all have issues, man. But I feel like it's a character study. I feel like there's several things. I feel like everyone's kind of going to take something different from it, because you can look at it from several points of view and say, oh, the show's about this. Another person will say, oh, it was about this. Another person will say, it's about that. And I don't think it's this big social issue thing that everybody talks about. I think it just kind of leaves it up for your interpretation. And in that way, it makes it kind of approachable for any generation. Gen Z's got representation. Gen X has got representation. The Boomers got representation. I think it's got something for everybody there. And it even sees like that kind of the struggle that some millennials are having right now. So I think it's got kind of something that's multi-generational where they can all kind of take something from it. Maybe I'm thinking too much, but that's kind of how I felt about it, because I was like, there's several storylines in here that I think are for different generations, and every generation can kind of relate to here. But it's not one I say that, is really thought-provoking as much as it's just like, I've got to see what happens next. And that's why I flew through it in a week here. So I'll be continuing with season number 2. I'm very curious why Stifler's mom, I can't think of her name, Jennifer Coolidge, is that her name? Why she's the only character that's returning. I don't know if it's supposed to be an anthology show or if she is the main character. I'm not really sure, because it just felt very much like an ensemble cast in season 1, but I don't know. It's interesting. So I don't know how anthology it is, if it's going to tie together at all or what. But I'm interested enough, like I said, to keep going. It's a strange show, and I don't think it will be for everyone. But like I said, if you go into it kind of with an open mind, I think you'll find something that you can relate to, or something be like, hey, that's someone like in my family. I think at a minimum with that show. But thanks for the recommendation. I don't feel like HBO misses a ton. I feel like HBO is always at least watchable. So this isn't going to be like, my favorite show of the year or anything like that. But it's an interesting start. And I'm interested to see, is it truly standalone-ish each season? Or is it kind of going to be something that kind of arcs together? I don't know. We will see.